Okay, y'all. So we'll go ahead and get started. Thank y'all so much for coming. In a world of COVID, it is great to see some faces in front of me. Good to see y'all. We're going to be going over designs today. A few things that we're going to be going over together. Creating a just listed graphic, a social media graphic for whenever you have a new listing, or it could be applicable to anything. You'll plug and play based on whatever you're trying to create. I'm just showing you the process of doing it. I'll show you all how to add some shortcuts like your logos, any statements that you may have, your headshot, anything like that to save you time when you're doing this as well, so that when you do this, you don't have to upload your logo for the office or for your headshot every single time to do these designs. We're also I'm going to show you all how to import MLS information so that you can just drag and drop and make a flyer or a postcard or anything like that probably within 10 minutes. Once you get comfortable with this, you could start in Command and probably be done within about 10 minutes once you get comfortable with everything. Yeah, so I'll show you how to do that as well, Samaria. And then I won't go completely through it, but they do have buyer and listing presentation templates in Command. If y'all are newer agents or maybe you just want to check it out, I highly recommend it. It is very easy. Probably took me 30 to 45 minutes in previous classes to do an entire presentation, whether listing or buy. And if you don't have anything that you've created for yourself, it's very, very nice to have that in your back pocket. And you just plug in your information in there. Got a couple other people here to admit on Zoom. Got Rohit in here. There we go. Perfect. Good to have you on, Rohit. Thanks for joining. And then we'll also show you how to do a Zoom background, because I know some of y'all have seen those virtual backgrounds behind people. And if you've been on Keller Williams calls, they may have something that has Keller Williams specific things to it. I'll show you how to find those as well. You can download them and then upload them into your Zoom on your mobile app on that one or on the desktop version as well. A lot of things that we'll cover today. And we just had Bill hop in. Good to have you, Bill. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
Morning, morning. I'm going to go ahead and mute everyone, Bill, just so you know, but feel free to hit unmute if you have any questions as I'm going throughout it, okay? All right, perfect. Thank you, Rohit. Appreciate y'all taking care of that. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen and we'll get going from here. So again, for those of y'all watching on YouTube or on Zoom, we're going to agent.kw.com. All right, so can we all see on Zoom? Can y'all just give me a thumbs up, Tony, if you see my command screen right now? Good to go? Okay, perfect. Just wanted to make sure. All right, y'all. So yes, for those of us in here, I'm gonna hide all the little Zoom deals down here. All right, y'all. So again, we're gonna be going over designs today. So when you get logged into agent.kw.com, is everyone logged in over here? Are we doing good on that? Okay, perfect. One thing I do want to mention, just a little pro tip for you. When you're in Command, all these icons over here, you can hover over them and they'll tell you the name of what it is. To make it easier though, you can also click the red KW up here in the top left corner. It'll actually expand that for you and show you what the names of all these things are as well as you're learning, just in case you don't have the icons down just yet. So we're going to be going down to designs today. It's right here, fourth from the bottom. It's a whiteboard with a pen icon on it. When you click on that, y'all can feel free to follow along with me just so we feel comfortable with it. So we're not just watching. You can see across the top of the screen, these are all the different types of templates you can create here in designs. You could make an HTML email template for your smart plans or for your campaigns, with your email campaigns. You could build that out. You could build landing pages newer in here. It's more of a creation you would do on the consumer side of things, but sometimes it saves it in here. So not a big use for that just yet. Social is probably the biggest thing that I use when making a Facebook post or something for Instagram or anything that I want to create that I just want to have on my phone to share with people. I always keep that with the social ones. For print, if you're doing just listed, just sold, postcards, different things like that, you click on that. And then you can also do agent site goes in with landing page. And then you can also do a neighborhood snapshot video. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do that as well. Takes just a few minutes to create that. It pulls in all the data, the just sold, just listed, average, sales price, things like that. It pulls all that in for you. You can make a really cool video very quickly. So to get started creating a new design, you're going to hit the bottom right. There's this big teal plus button right there. If y'all see that. And when you click on that, you get your 5 options right here of what type of thing you want to create. Again, I mostly use social personally. Print you can also use, and then the video as well. I haven't done a ton with the email, just being transparent. Haven't done a ton in there just yet. And then the importing PDF, I know how to do it to a point, but it's not something I've dove too deep on just yet. But you can upload PDFs and change some details on them. But that's a newer feature here in Designs. So let's say we were going to create a social post together. So let's say we were going to do a just listed. If we'll just play along with this, we'll all do the same one for the same property, just so that everybody's on the same page as we're doing this, okay? So we'll click on social, and it'll turn that teal color if you see that, so it knows that we've highlighted it. And let's also hit the checkbox at the bottom of the screen in the middle that says import photos and text from a listing. That'll just save us a step when we're going in there to pull in a property description or photos, anything like that. Yes, ma'am. Good? Okay. So once we've selected social in our checkbox, we'll hit next. And we'll go ahead and select a property for this, okay? I'm just gonna be very basic. I'm gonna type in 123 Main Street and we'll just pick one that works with that. So let's pick this one in Clifton for 114,000. It's got a photo right here. So when y'all search 123 Main Street on your computer, you should see one in Clifton right here, and Tiffany Jones is the realtor. Y'all see that? Okay, perfect. Okay, y'all want to do an ad? Does anyone have a listing in here that we'd prefer to do? Yeah, let's do yours. Let's do yours, Samaria. What's the 9640? Okay, is it this lease right here? Okay. Let's see. This one right here. Okay, perfect. So
Clark,
for those of y'all on Zoom and YouTube. Yes, ma'am.
I have one that's in coming soon. Are coming soon status not showing up?
No, coming soon does not show up on the KWLS. It only shows active properties.
Okay.
So. So we're going to select the sale one. It's with this yellowish hue right here. It's got Samaria. It's listed for 210,000. It's in Dallas, 9640 Bryson Drive is what y'all are going to select, okay? It's the one with the yellowish color with the greenery out front. If you selected a different one, I'll show you how to edit that mistake. If y'all accidentally clicked on a different one, yes, go ahead and hit select on the one with Samaria's name on it, okay? And we'll still be able to edit whichever property it is once we get into the design itself for the template, okay? So now that we're here in the designs library, I'm gonna take a pause. Yes, sir. Let me come around and take a double check. Okay, sorry about that, Joe. So I'm going to take a pause right here. I'm going to talk about logos, headshots, saving yourself time so that you don't have to be uploading the same things over and over. So before we select our graphic right now, if y'all see up on the top right of the screen, this is kind of a library of all of the designs templates. You see on the left side, we have all these different, we have listings, we have the KW app, we have different ones for buyers, we have lead generation. We have all different types of templates in here, okay? To save yourself time though, on the top right where it says red, in red, it says library, right there, go ahead and click on that. It'll pull up this little form right here, and you notice, well, I'm obviously an agent over here in Coppell now. This does not update with Command's marketing profile, and I'm not sure why, so this is something that you want to double check. For me, I came from a different office. I used to be over at the South Lake office. So I need to come in here, if y'all see, it's got the old address right there for my old brokerage. I had the toughest time trying to figure out where this information is. Finally figured it out so we can go and edit it here. So I'll put in my new address here with y'all. Okay, so for those of y'all at DFW Preferred, agents at DFW Preferred, what Samaria was just saying is on hers, so you'll want to double check this in your designs as well for your library, the little red button on the top right. Make sure that it's got your correct address, not the one on Sandy Lake, because obviously y'all aren't over there anymore. So you want to make sure that we have that saved in there. I'm also going to add in my agent website right here. So I put in clarkmundy.kw.com, added that in here as well. And then I like the rest of the info in here. I'm happy with the rest of that. If you had any specific text, maybe like the ownership statement, you could write in, you know, each office is independently owned and operated. If you've got certain things that you're going to be using on posts regularly, or maybe you have a tagline for your team or for in your agent business, something that you're always going to be typing in, you could go ahead and save that as kind of like a template here. For image, yes, ma'am. It saves automatically. Whenever you type something in, you could click the X and click on the red button again. It'll show that updated information for you there. You can go through them however way you want. I was just saying if you, yes, ma'am. So on images, if you've got things like a team logo or the Office DBA logo, you'd want to upload that in here. So for me, I had South Lakes uploaded in there and saved. I need to go ahead and take the time real quick. Actually, I'm on the wrong computer, so I'll do this later. But you would hit the plus icon, and then you would just upload that file of the new logo to your command, okay? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And the same with your headshot right here. When it comes to these images, logos, your headshot, I recommend if you have the PNG file type, I recommend you upload that one. A PNG is what will cut you out. If it's a headshot, you see right here how there's all these checkers behind me. That means that there's nothing else behind me. There's not a white rectangle. It's going to look really nice and clean whenever I pop that onto a graphic. Okay, so you just want to make sure if you see those check boxes all around you, that means that there's nothing else behind you on that image. And then the same right here for logos as well. So I went and downloaded, I just Googled the Realtor logo and then found a PNG on Google, downloaded that. I also did the equal housing opportunity just to have some options of different things to put on there. And then I also have a couple of, you can see our team, the Mundy group as well, have some of those in there. So if you have a team, if you have a personal logo, things like that you like to use for your branding, definitely recommend uploading that in here. And then also on the brand kit, if you want to go super deep, I'm not going to go in on this, but you can add in different colors. If you have specific color codes, you can get on MyKW, the marketing profile, which gives you like the KW red, certain Keller Williams specific colors. So if you really wanted to nerd out and just go really deep on this, if you're going to do a lot of content creation, you could definitely do that in here. And that brand kit is actually something you have to pay for in Canva. The ability to have a brand kit with fonts that you upload, with your logos for your team or yourself. All those different things. Canva, I think I pay like $13 a month just to have that on the side as well. But you don't get a brand kit unless you pay that money. Here in Designs, it's free. So definitely something to look into for y'all, okay? So I did just want to take a sec and show y'all how to save some time with that. So now that we've selected our property, whether we've got the correct one or whether we need to change it here in a minute if we selected the wrong one, you can see over here on the left side of the page, let's say that this is a listing that we're going to promote, okay? So we click the check down right here for listings. We've got, you can see there's 163 different templates for sale. When you click on that, it's all broken up into these categories here at the top. So we've got Facebook optimized ones, more horizontal for Facebook. Or maybe you want to go for Instagram optimization that are more of those square images. Or if you dabble with stories on Instagram or on Facebook, they're this very long and tall. You see like this? This is what a story looks like when you're clicking through Instagram. Whether you're doing it just as a post on your business page or, you know, in your Instagram page, or if you're running it as an ad on a story, you can do that as well. We've also got LinkedIn and Twitter as well. So LinkedIn is a little bit less long of a rectangle than Facebook, and Twitter is kind of rounded out on the edges. So again, I would just, the Facebook ones are just fine. I almost always exclusively use Facebook because on Instagram, you can also resize an image and have a longer horizontal one as well. So it doesn't really matter what you use, just up to you on your preference if you have one, because these are all duplicates of the same designs in here. See this for sale looks very similar to this for sale right here. So it doesn't mean 163 different templates. That's just the amount that are in there, and it's broken up by social media, website, or whatever you're using it for. I feel like I'm over explaining this, but I just want to make sure that y'all understand it, okay? So I apologize if I'm going slow. Sounds good. So let's say that we wanted to do a just listed social media graphic in this case. So instead of for sale, I'm going to go down to just listed right here. And you see there's 43 different ones in there. Y'all can feel free to pick whichever one you want. For the sake of today, I'd recommend we all pick the same one. I'm just going to go with this top left one right here. It says just listed _ 08 _ FB, whenever you highlight over it. So the top left one, we're in just listed, and then Facebook, and then that top left one. And when you're ready to use it, you hover over it and click the red use button in the top right here. Okay, so click on the use button. This will then take us into a new window, and we'll be able to. Yeah, they've done a great job down in Austin of building these. And another cool thing about this that Gary mentioned whenever he talked about designs and first started sharing about this, they go through, and I know that they do this because I checked the designs library, and on your homepage as well in Command, they have a designs library updates. If you scroll down on your homepage in Command, you can see the newest designs that they've updated. I think it's every quarter. Don't quote me on that, but I believe it's every quarter for those of y'all virtually as well, that KW, all the people down in Austin that work on designs will go in, they will look at the data on what the least used quarter or fifth or 10, whatever that number is. They look at the least used amount and they completely delete those from the library because nobody's using them. And then they replace that with 10, 20, 25% new ones. So you are constantly, KW is listening just based on what we're using. And if there's like certain ones for Twitter that are not getting used, they're probably going to get discarded once the time comes so that more options for more different things are available for y'all. Okay, so that's just a cool thing that they're doing at KWRI. Now, to answer your question, Ernest, about what if I selected the wrong property when I was just doing that select earlier, okay? So on the left side of the page right here, y'all see we have 5 different options. We have images, text, icons, logos, and then finally KWLS. To pull in property descriptions, photos, anything like that to make your life easier for a specific property, click on KWLS. And when you do that, now for me, and if y'all all selected the correct Bryson Drive whenever we selected it earlier, it should automatically populate that for you right here for 9640 Bryson Drive. Had you selected the wrong one, you could click the back button right here and then search for it right here. So you would just hit the back button right here where it was,
Clark,
and you could type in 9640. And I don't want to go off KWLS ID right here. I want to go by listing address. So I always want to make sure how it's searching for you.
Clark, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yes, ma'am.
What did you click on to get to that?
Down here on the left side, Tony, KWLS. Do you see that?
Oh, I see it now. Yeah,
Okay.
sorry. Okay, thank you.
No, you're good. Great question. Thank you. So yes, so select KWLS and then make sure it's on listing right here. This is the correct one right here. So it's whatever you want to use. It doesn't have to be the exact one that we're doing today. I just figured for simplicity's sake, so we're all on the same page. So if you had selected the wrong one and you wanted to type in 9640 Bryson Drive again and search by listing address, we hit enter, and now we can select that one. So it takes us right back to the same screen I was just on a minute ago. Just wanted to show you how to edit that if the time came, okay? Now you can see it automatically pulled in all the great photos from Samari's listing right here. Looks great. Good job on getting that listing. I want to sell that. So we've got all the photos in here. And then if you see right here under the search box, right here, you can also click listing details. When you do that, it'll pull up all of this information from the MLS that you can quite literally just hit the red plus button to get it to add onto this graphic. So let's say, you know, some of this, maybe you wanted to add in the property address right off the bat. You just click the plus and it'll pull in right here. It'll put it in the middle of your screen right there. Okay. Now, I personally think that I would want to have it here with this font. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click on it and I'm going to highlight that whole thing so it turns blue. So I did 2 left clicks to select that whole thing. And I'm going to go ahead and do a so when I went to, we searched in the property, okay? It originally went to photos right here. You go over one from photos to listing details. And then when you see whatever you like, you can just click the red plus button to the right of it. So whether it's the property address or the price or the year built or the square footage, all of this information in here. You got the lot size right there, beds, baths, half baths, garage, all this, you know, school information, all these different things in here. You got a lot of different options, okay? So it should appear in the middle of your screen, and it may look a little hard to see because it's on top of a photo with color as well. But you should be able to click that plus sign to the right of it and it'll drop in for you. I just selected the property address right here where it says property address. So again, I'll do it one more time. I'll delete this one. Yes, sir. 9640 Bryson. It's listed for 210 right now on the MLS. However you want to do it. Yes, ma'am. It's really up to you on the creativity on where y'all want to put things. It's just, it doesn't have to be how this template is. It's just what they created for you down in Austin. And you can edit it.
What if you want to replace that 123 Spruce Road City, whatever?
Yes, ma'am. So that's obviously not correct. That's not the correct property right now, is it?
Right.
So one thing I'm going to show y'all real quick, instead of clicking on adding and then dragging it over and changing the font and changing the size, all of that, instead what we can do, go up here to where it says 123 Spruce Road City on the top right and just do one left click for me. Okay. It should come up with all these dotted lines. Do you see that, Tony?
Yes.
Okay.
But
perfect.
the problem is, how do I get rid of what I added, that 9640, and I don't like it.
Oh, okay. So you could left click on it. You should be able to just click on it and then you could click the delete button on your keyboard. Let me know if that works.
Yeah, that worked. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Yes, ma'am. Yes, left click and delete if you add something that you don't want to use. So once you click, again, I wasn't clicked on there, but I'm clicked onto the property now. You can see all these dotted lines around it. That means that I've selected it. If you want to make this even easier on yourself, we could go over now that we've got that selected. We can go back here to the left side of the page. And now you'll see that it looks like a refresh icon. It's two arrows going in a circle. Y'all see that? That is the replace button here in designs. If you click that, it will automatically input that in the correct font and the correct size. So it's remembering what it looks like. It's just changing the data that's in there. Okay. So what if instead of that being the property address, maybe that was the price? I'll click the same little refresh icon over here on price. Top right will update to the price. Okay. So again, you can't do that right off the bat because see, there's only plus icons when nothing is selected. Select that text and then all these little replace icons come up. So you don't even have to really do a lot of resizing and find the font and worry about all that mess. You can really just come in here and do it however you wish. On the left side of the page, you'll just hit the plus icon next to the price and then you'll drag it wherever you want it. You can change the color. There's a lot of different things you can do. Now, let's say, now that y'all know how to get to the listing details, let's say we wanted to replace this image because that image is a stock image. That's not of this property here. So if I go back to photos right here, let's say I wanted to use this front shot that looks really nice. Well, again, we're going to use that same replace concept. I'm going to click on the photo. You can see the dotted lines around it. It means that we've selected it. And I'll just hover over here. You can see we've got replace image on this far left image right here. I click replace. It pops it in there right away without even you having to drag or click or do anything like that. Let me check out the checks. We got some messages in here. Let's see. Rohit is saying you can also press Control-Z to undo a change or all recent changes. So if you use keyboard hotkeys, keystrokes, Control-C is copy or command, Command-V or Control-C is paste, and Z is undo. Yes, sir, Chris.
How do you get it the same size?
So, nope, you're not going to crop it. So make sure you click on that. So go ahead and delete what you had just added so that you just see the stock image again. Okay. And then once you do that, just do one left click on the stock image and then go to the left side of the page, find the photo you want to replace it with and just click that replace button. It should put it in the exact same size. It should just populate it over there how the other one looked in that same sizing. One moment, Zoom. Be right back.
Yeah, I know to move, I wanted to move it.
Okay, you can delete it.
Okay. Well, I just clicked it and hit delete.
Yes, ma'am. Left click and delete. You add
It's
something.
not moving. Not going away.
Okay, we'll look at it here in a little bit.
Okay.
So again, we've got our property address. We've now got a picture in there that looks nice and neat. If you've got your logo already uploaded, if y'all are watching this later as well, you could go to logos. So again, on the left side of the page, we were on KWLS. I'm gonna go one up to logos on the far left. You would see any logos in here that you had put in here. I deleted the South Lake one, so all I have right now is my 2 team logos and all of that. So for me right now, I don't have the DBA logo uploaded into my command for Coppell. So I'm just gonna go grab a generic KW one, okay? Show you how to do that as well. If we go up here to images, oh, I'm sorry, right here. My apologies. So back on logos, it may default you to my library. Logos, we'll go to company. So logos on the left side, and then at the top, select company. Then you can select KWDBA, and that'll give you blank ones. Or we can just click on KW, and it'll give us generic Keller Williams ones.
So
Using
Chip,
that-
I tried loading mine and it didn't work.
Okay. Did you upload it beforehand or just now in command?
It's already in command. It's in my library. But
Okay.
where I put it, it just wouldn't work.
I'm not sure. Usually when I've uploaded them, they might go into images instead at the top left. Sometimes when you upload something and it's not in your library, so to speak, it may not recognize it as a logo. It may think it's an image. So if you did have that issue, you could go up to images on the top left and then my library, and you might see it in there as well. But I'm not 100% sure why it wouldn't pull up correctly. So let me know.
It pulled up. It's just too big for that area. It won't,
Oh,
when
okay.
I put replace or whatever, that refresh, it didn't do it.
It did not do it. Okay, well, let me try that on my end real quick. So I'm gonna hide you for a minute. So I'm gonna click on the DBA. So this same concept of replacing works for the DBA logo as well. You just click on where it says KW DBA name. It goes to dotted lines. Let's say I wanted to use this KW one right here. I replace. Oh, I see what you're saying, Tony. So this one resize kind of funny. So you may just need to grab it and drag it, Tony, to get it to resize how you want it. So I'm just kind of messing with mine manually right now, but that may be your fix there. It's just left click and dragging those corners of it to resize it how you need.
Okay.
That may be the fix there for you. You're going to want to replace that with the office's logo, meaning it says KW DFW preferred. So I believe in my KW, and then also like in the office intranet, and then you can also go just on regular my KW to find the logos as well. I'm going to detour real quick to show you all that. If you don't know how to find logos, I'll do this real fast. Log into my KW real quick. Okay, so if you log into my KW, if you go to the top of the screen where it says marketing, it doesn't have a drop down, it just says marketing. You can click on that. And the first little box right here, when you click marketing, is logos and branding. Click on that. This is that identity marketing style guide that I told you about. It's about 45 to 50 pages of, you know, best practices for social media posts and the color of all these specific KW, like that KW red right here. That's on all our logos. That is a very specific color code number. So that all that kind of information's in there. But if you want to come down and find your office information, we are Market Center 296 here. And it says right here, you can either search by Market Center number or name. because I know we are 296 here at Coppell. You can see right here, it pulls up two different 296s. KW Coppell used to be our name. Now it's KW DFW Preferred. So make sure you download the DFW Preferred logos, okay? If you wanted to double check that that looks correct, you could hit preview and it'll show you what it looks like right here. Or you could just hit the download button, go back and hit download. Marketing, and then go to logos and branding. And then you'll scroll down from there. I think Chip can help you out with that. You'll just scroll down from there and you'll see where it says to enter in the market center information for you. Tony, are we okay? Just want to make sure. Okay, perfect. Just want to make sure. So I just wanted to detour that for a minute for y'all just to show you. You can quite literally just type in 296, go to DFW Preferred and hit download and go from there, okay? Just wanted to show y'all that real quick. So back here in the design itself, well, this probably was not built in 2015, but let's go double check that. So we go back to the KWLS, we go back to listing details, and we can scroll down right here. And we can see this was built in 1972. So I'm just going to click on that. Let's see if the replace, it may just change it to 1972. So let's see. Okay, yep. So that only changed it. It didn't say built in, it just says 1972. So I'm going to two-finger click on that, 2 left clicks to get into a text box and edit it. So again, you can see this blinking cursor right here. That means that it is available to be edited. I can text in it right there. You can see all these different letters I'm adding. So again, you just click on the text box with a left click, and then you can do 2 left clicks to open it up. So let's say built in. So I'm just adding in the built-in part of that. Yes, sir. It's whatever you want to put in there, really. Okay. Yeah, you may just have to do it manually. Sometimes that replace feature is awesome, but also sometimes it may get a little hairy. So it just happens as you're going throughout it. Also, we can see over here. So we got, this is all in one text box right here. The 3-bed, 2-bath, square footage, price. I'd recommend just manually writing that in instead of adding these one at a time, because this is all one text box. So you could scroll up, you could see, okay, this is a 3-bedroom, but it's got 2.1 baths, 2 fulls and 1 half. So I'm just going to click on that. I wonder if this is locked. There we go. You just have to double click it with your left finger. Yeah, Chip will check with you. I'll come over there if I need to, Ernest. So we've got a 3-bed, 2.1 bath. Right here, our square footage on the left side, we've got 1524. So I'm going to edit that as well. 1524. And then our sales price is 210,000. So I'm going to add that in as well. Bam. Okay, so we've got the correct bed. If you want it there, you can delete it. This is completely up to y'all customization wise. There is not, the only right or wrong on creating content and designs is the ownership statement, which is at the very bottom left. Each office is independently owned and operated. Those are automatically on there. And then the DBA logo. Other than that, everything is free reign for you. Okay. I mean, obviously you got to be ethical, but everything else aside, it's up to y'all completely how the creativity looks. You do not have to keep things in a certain area. You can make this however you want. You can change the colors. You can make all your own templates. Okay. It's totally however you want to do it. So let's say that we are happy with this. And if y'all need to get to this point, let me know if I'm going a little too fast. But we've got in the just listed, we've got in the property details correct. On the top right, we've got the property address. In the middle, we've got our photo. At the bottom, we have our year built. And then on the bottom right, you should put in your Central 75 or DFW preferred logo for those of y'all watching. Go ahead and put that in there. I just had the generic Keller Williams one on there because I'm on the training room computer right now and not my own. So just make sure that you have all those different factors in there whenever you're creating it. And I'll also show y'all while we're kind of having some help here in the class. Yes, sir. What can I help you with, Chris? Yes, sir. So you'll click on it once to select it, and you'll do a 2 left click. So 1, 2, and then it should let you in there to edit the text. Did that work for you, Chris? Okay. So again, to edit any text, y'all, I'll do it on the property address up here at the top right. 1 left click to select it. Now it's highlighted. You can either replace, or if we do 2 left clicks in there, now we can start editing. Okay. So 1 click to select it, 2 clicks to edit. Also, I'll show y'all real quick on icons over here on the far left with the star. There are certain icons that might pull in here that they've created. You can also add in your own if you want. You can go in through the stock ones. Let's say you wanted to have, your Instagram on here. You don't have to follow along with this, but let's say I wanted to have a nice little image of our Instagram for our team. I'm just reset. Oh, I grabbed the wrong thing. So Rohit, thank you. Control Z. Send that thing back to where it needs to be. I was still grabbing the wrong thing. Let's see here. These tiny logos are a little difficult to pull. There we go. So let's say I wanted to have that in there. And I wanted to use this same font right here. Okay. Let's say I didn't want to add in some random font that it just defaults to. Let's say I wanted to keep it all the same. I'll click on Built in 1972 right here to select it. And then a right click, copy. And then I'm going to right click, paste. We get Built in 1972 again. And I'm just going to go ahead and hit 2 left clicks. I'm going to edit this now. And I just want to have our team Instagram in there. At the Monday Group. Okay.
How did you get that Instagram?
So on the left side of the page, Tony, I went over to icons, and then I went to stock, and that was just like the 3rd one down for me right here. So you can search through any different kinds of things in here. I bet if you search, okay, so I don't know how well the search functionality works in here, but you can at the very least just scroll through these and see what different kinds of things. They don't have a ton in here just yet. See, there's Facebook. There's a couple different Facebook ones, but that was over on icons, and then up at the top, stock. And you can see all these different little things in here. Just random stuff really, but it may add a little bit extra to your posts and things like that. As y'all will notice, when I did the Monday Group's username next to the Instagram icon, it's actually too long for this text box. So to change that, we're going to do 1 left click on the word the Monday Group. And then I'm just going to drag on the right side of it. There's that little arrow. I can drag it to the right until we get that full sizing. Now we're good to go. So again, y'all, went to icons, stock, and then I just scrolled down. There's a bunch of different things in here. A lot of them random as well, because they've been kind of duplicating what Canva has done with designs to have it all in-house. Again, like I said earlier, with the brand kit, so you don't have to pay for Canva to get access to the same features, basically. For those of y'all on Zoom that are live with me, how are we doing? Am I going too fast? Are we all sped up? Do we have any questions right now? No, I think they're all good to go. I assume crickets means we're good. Yes, ma'am.
How do you add a text box?
Okay.
Like I got that Instagram photo on there, but I don't know how to get something else by it.
Yep, I totally understand. So we got a couple options on that. For me personally, because I've been working in designs, I decided to just copy and paste this Built in 1972 right here, Tony. I just copy and pasted that because I like that font. I didn't want to have to go find the font, type it in, all that. So what I did is I just right-clicked on that existing text, and then I hit copy. And then out here, I just did a right-click, paste. And now we've got another Built in 1972 right here. See that? So that's how I did that. Or if you don't want to necessarily use that font specifically, up on the very top left of the screen where it says text, you can click on that. And you can come in here and you can click on, I think it's, yeah, so banners. There's a bunch of different pre-built things in here, text-wise. If you like certain fonts of these things, you could then just change the text to whatever you want. Or you could just do add. You could just go to add right here if you have specific ones that you're wanting. Oh, so let's see. So you got titles that are that big, subtitle, body text, and text block. So these are all just different sizes, but they're not a specific font other than just this kind of boring, you know, right here where it says body. If I hit title right there, see, it's just kind of your run-of-the-mill, kind of boring, but you can add in text fields that way. And then if you wanted to go in and edit that font, we'll go ahead and highlight and select it. And on the top where it says Lato, that's that font. We can click, you can see what the fonts look like as well. You can see all the different variations of them. Like for Century Gothic, there's normal one that's thin, that very modern look, or you could go with the very dark and bold Gothic one as well. So a lot of different options in here for all your different text boxes. Does that make sense, Tony? Each box, because it may be different based on what you're doing this for. Tony, let me know if that made sense or if I need to slow down and go on it again. You can also up here next to the font, you can also change the sizing right here. Okay, this one's currently 113, that's pretty big. This is probably around 60. So let's say I wanted to get it closer to that size. Let's say you went to 62. It's still pretty big. You can do that. Or also for y'all, if you do not want to do this double click with your left finger type of thing, I'll click off of that where it's not selected. So we see that title is not selected right now. There's no, you know, dotted lines around it. Well, if you click on it with one left click, up here on the top of the screen between the font and the opacity, there's something called typewriter. It looks kind of like a half-eaten candy bar. If you see that, it's like a rectangle cut into two colors. You can click typewriter and that will pull up a big box right here. So you could type in whatever you need, you know, KW is. So for typewriter, hit save changes on this. See, KW is #1. I just added the text up here at the top left. On that one, I just selected title, pulled that over. We get the title. Then up at the top of the screen, you see between the font size and the opacity, we click typewriter and it pulls up a big box right here where all you can do is type. This would be if you have big sentences, maybe if you didn't pull over a property description for some reason, or you're writing a different one. If you're writing something long form, this is probably the best way to do that, that typewriter icon at the top of the screen. And once you do your thing, you can either hit save on the bottom left or discard on the bottom right if you don't like it. I'm gonna delete these because these were just more for our information, just showing y'all, because I like how clean this graphic looks. So let's say that we were happy with what we had created, okay? Is everyone kind of up to speed on where we're at right now? More or less, at least, just for a first run through? Okay. So up on the top right of the screen, one thing I'm gonna recommend that y'all do is on the top right where it says just listed underscore, whatever it says, go ahead and double click on that and rename this. So let's say this was 9640 Bright. Oh, I can type, I promise, even under pressure. Drive, just listed. You know, property address dash just listed, or open house, or whatever you're creating. Because when you have an entire library of designs you've created, it's going to get very confusing when everything says just listed underscore. You're not going to really know what you're looking at because it's going to be a whatever you want to make it. Yes, ma'am. Whatever is most comfortable for you. You can also download right off the bat, but I always recommend, just from personal experience, sometimes I would download something and then it would not save it. Like Designs would not save it because I didn't hit done on the top right. So what I recommend personally is go ahead and complete your graphic and hit done first. Then go back in and save it. Just like a campaign, just like an MLS input, I always recommend saving before trying to do something extra. Just get the very basics of it, the thing done. So I'm going to click done at the top right because I already put in. So if we hit done, and then you can either hit don't save or save. Obviously I want to save this one because we spent all this time on it. And then you'll see, you're always going to want to refresh your designs page, okay? So when you get into the designs library, you'll see that this did not update, okay? This is not the picture. So I'm going to refresh my page. And once I do that, oh, well, it's still got the just listed name right there. So that might be taking a sec, but we can see we do have the just listed with our picture from Samaria's listing. So y'all can see that in there. Yes, sir. Uh-huh. Yes, sir. Didn't change the name of it? Okay. Let me see. Usually it just does it automatically. Let me try one more time. That might have just been. Mine is too. So the other way to do this, once you're here in the library, Ernest, if you hover over that image that you just created, on the top right, 3 dots came up. You can click that and click rename. And we can rename that to 9640 Bryson Drive, just listed. And I'll hit finish. That one automatically updated right there. So if it ever doesn't save your new template name, y'all, just feel free to hover over it here in the library of templates, click on the 3 dots on the top right and rename. Also, if you create a really killer design that you want to duplicate for other listings and you've edited it all, you don't need to go in and do all of this work every time you want to do it. You don't need to go pull the KW generic one and then make it your own. If you really like what we just did, like say with that Instagram thing in there, so you don't have to add that every time, you could just click those 3 dots and click make a copy. It will automatically then make a copy of this right here. So you could come in, you could just replace the photo, replace the data on the property. If you make something that you really like, now I recommend just for your social media posting that you do vary it up. Don't post the same graphic every time. There's so many different options in here. You don't want from an outsider perspective, let's say a Facebook friend of yours, if you post it on your personal page, you don't want to use the same color every time because people aren't really looking at property addresses. They just see that, oh, Clark or Ernest or whoever, they're doing something real estate related as they're scrolling throughout their phone. Well, you want to vary it up so that they realize, oh, it may not even be a different property, but it'll look different to the consumers on your end. It looks like you're doing a lot of business just by changing up the different styles of what you're using for these graphics. So definitely recommend having a couple different ones, maybe 3 to 5 that you really like. Obviously for just listed, it could be an open house. You know, you could change the verbiage in here. I'm going to click back into the one we created. It's just one left click. It takes you right back into the editing part of it. And let's say I wanted to just take a very easy step and say, instead of a just listed, I'm going to click on that. I'm going to click my typewriter. And instead of just listed, I'm going to say, in all caps, open house, Sat 2 to 4 p.m. I'm going to hit save. Let me move my Zoom bar. Hit save. And now you can see open house, Saturday 2 to 4 p.m. We could resize it to the right. All right, so let's say we like that sizing right there, and then we can just click and drag it up here a little bit. Maybe 50.2 is a little bit too big, so maybe we go down to about 46 on the font size right there. Drag that over, and so on, so on. You could edit it how you want, but that's how we could make a duplication of what we just made for a just listed, and then automatically in just a minute and a half or two, make an open house for the exact same thing. It looks the same. So anyway, just an easy way of doing that for you. Okay. I'm gonna hit done real quick. Questions right now. I'm gonna hit pause for a minute. What questions do we have? Yes, sir.
When you think you got Instagram and
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
all you can do is find a text box.
So I just,
And then drag it,
yes, sir.
and then
And what I did on that one, because I liked the font that was already on there, I just did a right click on one of the existing text boxes with the font I liked, right click copy, and then right click paste. And then I had 2 that said the same thing, and then I just changed the text on the new copied one, and I just had it say at the Monday group. So just a very easy way of doing all that. How are we feeling though? Are we okay? I know I'm kind of hitting you all with a lot, and it's going to
No,
take y'all playing with it.
it's good, Clark.
Good.
This has been really good and very helpful.
Good,
Now,
good.
I
Glad.
can't, because my listing is coming soon status, so I
Uh-huh.
can't pull the MLS docs in. How am I going to get my photos in?
Let me click back in. So I'm just detouring for a minute, y'all. So I'm doing my thing real quick. I'm going to try to address this with Tony real quick. I don't think I've been able to pull incoming soon, but let me double check.
It would,
What's our property address on this? Tony?
1520
Huh?
Brewster, BREWSTER
Okay.
Drive in Carrollton.
In Carrollton.
I couldn't find it.
Yep, so I'm seeing Plano, Columbus, Clarksville. Let's see if we can get, is it 2 L's in Carroll?
Yes, two R's and 2 L's.
So I just did a search and I'm not seeing anything based on that. I think Bill had put in the Zoom comments that you could do this, but I'm just personally not sure how to do it with the coming soon, other than just coming in here, Tony. You would click on images. So once you get your photos back, or if you haven't yet, or if you already have for
I
this
do.
listing, you would click on images on the top left. You would then go to add right there. And then you would just upload. I would upload all of them if I were you. You can see here in my library, just on this computer, it's just got these ones from different things I was doing today. But you could just click on drag and drop right there where it says upload. Go in, select your folder, and then just highlight all of them. However many photos you want to add. You could even add the entire photo library if you want to. You would just need to do that part manually because it is in the coming soon status. So you can still create content. It's just that it won't pull over, to my knowledge, up until it's active. So it would just be something you need to do on the manual end for that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I went over to Dropbox, but because that's where they are.
Uh-huh.
And I click on Dropbox and nothing's happened. I don't know what I did wrong.
Are you using Google Chrome?
Yes.
Okay, that's strange. You might have a pop-up blocker on, because when I clicked on Dropbox, it brought up this window in the middle, if you see this, about linking your Dropbox account.
Yeah, it did. And then I'll figure it out.
Okay.
I don't, sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. We can connect offline too if we need to hash that out and figure it out. Okay, so we're feeling at least comfortable on what we've done so far, yes? Okay, just want to make sure. I don't want to be speeding through this and confusing y'all. Okay, let's see. So we've got a couple other things here. Neighborhood video. I'm going to take you all through this real quick. So I'm just going to go back into my command. All right. So I'm hitting the back button over and over because sometimes it wants you to hit it a bunch of times to get back into command. Y'all will find with designs, sometimes it doesn't want to take you back into command. It just wants to keep you in the library. So I'm quite literally just going to log back into command because sometimes that's just faster. Everything saves nonetheless. It's just something with backing out sometimes gets a little finicky. So again, left side of the page, designs. Now, the neighborhood. Do you know the neighborhood off the top of your head for that property, Samaria? Okay, cool. So on the bottom right again, to create anything, y'all, big blue teal add button. And this time I'm going to show y'all how to make I think it's about a 1.5 minute video. We just input the information and it makes the video for you for a neighborhood. So this would come into play if you've got a seller maybe that is kind of on the fence about listing with you, and you want to create something really fast that you could email or text to them just to have some cool content that's fun, that like their family might enjoy watching. It's very well done and very easy for you to do on your end. So again, we'd go plus sign and then we'd click on video. We'd be creating a video in this case. All right. And I'm also going to select the import checkbox again because we're using it for Samaria's specific listing, 9640 Bryson. We'll hit next. All right, remind me that neighborhood again, Samaria. Kingsley. You said Minor? Oh, Manor. Gotcha. All right, Kingsley Manor. Let's see. I'm not seeing anything here in Texas. Got Florida and New York all over the place. We got a lot of ones in here. Kingsley. Okay, well, I'm not seeing that one right off the top of my head. I know one that's definitely going to work. Let's just type in Briarwyck together, B-R-I-A-R-W-Y-C-K. Briarwyck. That's in Roanoke, Texas. So for this video, we're going to make it for Roanoke just because it was taking a minute and save y'all time. I don't want to sit here. Briar, B-R-I-A-R, one word, W-Y-C-K. Briarwyck. When you do that, you'll see 3 options come up, one for Carrollton, Texas, Brownsville, Texas, down south, and Roanoke is the one that we're going to select, okay? Are y'all all on the same page? Do we see that? Okay. So we'll hit Roanoke for that Briarwyck, and we'll hit next. Once we do that, it will give you, this is all the information that you are going to want to edit, okay? If you've done comps or whatever and you think that the numbers might be a little off, you know, if you're an expert in this area and you, really, that's the average sold, let's go double check that. Go look at the MLS, you know, do my thing. So you can come in here. This is what's going to show up in the video. So whatever you edit in here is going to show up on this video that we create. So Briarwick is the correct name. Sometimes they have weird, you know, phase, and they have additional information on these neighborhood names. So average sold price in Roanoke is 506,300, and you could select right here if you know that they're on the rise, on the decline, or if they're holding steady. That average sales price is right about where it usually is geographic, or historically rather. Also your average price per square foot and what direction that's going, on the rise, on the decline, or holding steady. Number of homes for sale at this given time. You could just do an MLS search and see that. Maybe it's 7 and that's incorrect. You just want to double check this, okay? Average days on market. And then you can also, this is really cool, it pulls in different neighborhood features based on what people have given feedback to. This is from a third-party service. Let's say you really know this seller and you know that they are like a 30-something book-loving coffee nerd type of person. You could come in here. Let's say we don't want humanitarian and student life because they're in their 30s, but they do love books. And we can click this right drop-down arrow and select different things. So let's say there's a great coffee culture over there. You want to, you know, intrigue that to the person as well. You can add in different things in here, just kind of based on if you know certain details about the person, maybe you know them on a better level. You could add in these different things. Maybe they love going to the movies, because there's a Cinemark right there around the corner. So just make it based it on you know, the area that this property is in. Also want to double check the down arrow for your agent information, because that's going to autofill at the end of it. Your photo information right here, also for your brokerage, your license number, the office, ownership statement. My logo is in there and good to go. Okay, so are we all on the same page with that? All right. So then we could hit the next button once you clarify that all your information is correct and you're good to go. You hit next. It says, hold tight. This may take up to 10 whole seconds to make your video. Okay. Give it its moment. Usually it is the full 10 seconds. So I try to be churning these out where I can when I'm teaching with y'all. And once our little blue wheel stops spinning, we'll be good to go and we'll have our little video that I can show y'all. And of course, I put it on the spot and say it'll be 10 seconds, and now it takes its time. All right, bam. Welcome to Briarwick. So I'm going to hit play for y'all. It's about a minute, minute and a half, I think. So we'll hit that play button. Welcome to Briarwick. Very easy to put together, too. It just did that. All we did was put in the information, hit next, hit save. So all the moving pieces of this stay in place, but the text just changes. They already created this. It adds in different little graphics. If you saw, it had movie popcorn, it had books, it had coffee cups, it had different things and stuff. And it's also a call to action back to you. Okay? You send this to a seller, and their neighbor loves this, and they're showing it whenever they're getting coffee or lunch or whatever later that week. This could be a value add just to get you more business, because I don't know who else in the real estate world has the ability to create easy videos like this that looks amazing and is pretty little effort on your end, and it looks really nice. Just another added bonus of lead generation. It's 1 minute on the dot for those of y'all watching at home. And then we could just hit, you would download it. So we'll hit save. Again, we'll refresh our designs library page to get that to pop up. Now you can see our video right here. You can hover over the 3 dots on the right. And then you could either use in campaigns, you could directly share it to social from here. If you've connected your Facebook account, business page, or Instagram, different. I don't know if it'll do it directly to Instagram. I think it'll do it to Facebook though. If we hit share to social, scheduled posts. So you could do a scheduled post for this afternoon or for tomorrow. Now, granted, I probably wouldn't post one of these neighborhood specific videos on your Facebook, or maybe you do and you make it a call to action. So you post this one video and you say, hey y'all, do you want to know the information about your neighborhood? Shoot me a DM, comment below what your neighborhood is, or whatever. You could use this as a call to action to get people, oh, I want to know what's going on in my neighborhood. That's a cool video. A personalized video to me. People are interested about these types of things. And especially if they're sitting at home right now, just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, maybe a good benefit to do something like that. So just like as a one-off. Yes, sir, Ernest. To an individual. So let me back up here. So I got to go back into designs because it took me into a scheduling post. So let me go back to designs real quick. So 3 dots hovering over it. Then you can hit download right here. To make it easier to share, because this is a 1-minute video, it's probably going to get pixely if you text out this video specifically. So what I might recommend y'all do is upload it into a Google Drive and then have that link so that you can just text out a link and then people can watch it at their leisure. So you're not sending a very pixelated video that looks unprofessional on your end when you and I know that we just created something awesome. You don't want it to be pixely when it gets into the consumer's hands. You want to make sure they have a high quality video for them to watch. So whether you put that in a Google Drive or Dropbox or Box or, I would recommend some sort of cloud-based storage because it is a little bit of a bigger file type being a 1-minute video, just to have that in there. So you would just click the download button. It'll then say downloaded started. That was 1/4 of a gigabyte. It's not a massive file, but again, you just want to make sure that it comes in clear to the client. And I found, especially when texting like iPhone to Android, sometimes things get real pixely, whether it be an image or a video. And you don't want to have that be a reason that you lose business. If someone says, oh, well, he made a video, but it didn't look very good. I don't really want to use him. Not that they use that completely on their basis of not using you as their agent, but just to make sure that you're looking as clean, professional, and all that as possible. So that's how we make a neighborhood video. I'm also going to show y'all where the buyer and listing presentations are, if y'all want to go through those together, on your own time. Up here, again, plus icon. We're going to hit social on this. Actually, we're going to hit print because this would be something that we'd print off and we would be presenting, physically, not just, you could do it digitally as well, given all the things going on right now. But let's just hit print and then next. I'm not going to pull over any MLS data because I'm going on the appointment. It's not on the MLS yet, so there's nothing to pull over on this one. So we hit print. It takes us to the exact same library right here, but you can see now there are different things in here. At the top of the screen, it doesn't say Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and LinkedIn. It says things like door hangers, bifolds, and the different height and width of it. Or maybe you want a trifold print graphic, regular postcard, front and back. You can select any different types of things here in the print material. And then over here on listings, you'll see at the top, there's listing presentations. There's a black, very modern one, and then there's a white, very modern one as well. It just depends on what kind of color scheme you're wanting to go for and what screams you more than anything. So you would just hover over these and hit use. And we also have the same thing in here for buyer. We also have buyer presentation right here, same thing. Your guide to home ownership in white or in black. These are about 25 to 30 pages. There are certain pages you'll probably want to delete. Marty Miller and myself have both uploaded videos. They're all on the KW Central 75 YouTube channel for the ones that I taught. KW space Central space number 75 on YouTube. You can find those in there. It's just buyer's presentation in command, listing presentation in command. It's about 45 minutes to an hour probably if y'all do want to watch those. Or Marty Miller has also done them as well, I believe, is where I learned how to do that originally for myself. So y'all could just come in here. Let's say you wanted to do this dark buyer's presentation. You hover over it, you click use, just like we did earlier for our social graphics. It'll then pull you in here. And then you can see we've got all of our different pages right here. You do not have to use every single page of this. You drag over whichever pages you want. So it doesn't have to be 25 to 30 pages. If you muscle this down and you get all your content on there that you want in 15, that's totally fine. It's your presentation. This is not something that we as leadership have say over. It's whatever you want to make for your business. But you can just go in through, and again, that YouTube video is a good tutorial of all the different types of things. But there's a table of contents, sound decision, all these sorry, I didn't mean to click that, but there's all these different, all you do is you would come on here, and at the bottom of your screen, you would just put in your app link. You don't need to change almost anything else on most of these pages. It's just tailoring it to yourself. So again, I'm not going to finish this one up, but I just wanted to show y'all that print and then either listing or buyer presentation for that. I'm going to go back real quick. I'm also going to show y'all from the designs little template library in here how to get a Zoom background. So I've had people asking me, how do I get the virtual background around me in case you're wanting to do a Zoom class, but you're at a you know, sitting outside of a coffee shop, or you're at your house, but maybe it's a little messy. You don't want the things behind you at your physical location showing. You just want to have some say over that. What you can do is on the left side again, you can click on the very last one that's called templates. When you click templates, you can go to pivot shift ahead. Actually, I think, let me back up, because since we clicked print, I don't know if it's going to let me. So let me back up real quick. Actually, you're probably going to want to just hit the add button again when y'all do this. So give me one moment. Stand by. Because these are typically a social graphic for those Zoom backgrounds, I was just remembering. So again, designs, big blue plus icon, social, next. Yes, sir. So social and then next. And then again, left side of the page, very bottom, we're going to go to templates. And then you see pivot shift ahead. There are 45 designs in there. If you see a number other than 45, because the last one for me said 1, because we were in the print section. So templates, pivot shift ahead. There are 45 different ones. And you can see this top one, this first one right here, is meeting backgrounds. A lot of these you see will say insert your content here. That would be for you to upload your specific logo for your team or for your office, or maybe your headshot if you want it. I don't know, whatever you want to put in there. I really like this for the Love of Real Estate one, because that was from our family reunion, I think, not this past year, but the one before. That was a really cool graphic painting thing that they had at Mega Camp or Family Reunion. So I've used that one before. For the Love of Real Estate, if you just want something clean, you could throw in your office logo. So anyway, you can put these in here. You could change whatever you want, download it, and then on the Zoom application, I can't show y'all because I'm on Zoom right now teaching a class, but on the Zoom desktop app or mobile, you could just Google how to add a virtual background to your Zoom, get a little walkthrough. It'll show you how to do that once you have that downloaded. And also I wanted to show y'all, we're in pivot shift ahead right now. If we go down to new designs, they finally started adding in conversation-based things. Let me get Anita in here real quick. Conversation-based topics. So again, this is Instagram stories. We'll go over to Facebook real quick. Oh, where is it hiding from me? I'm sorry, over here on, sorry, pivot shift ahead, Instagram, instead of what I was doing. Pivot shift ahead, Instagram. And you can see there are different things in here like build your own backyard utopia, A, B, C, or D, 1, 2, 3, or 4, so on, so on. You could post things like this socially distanced road trip or build your own backyard utopia. These would be kind of a call to action type post on Facebook. I would probably recommend this on Facebook if you're going to do this, even though it's formatted for Instagram. Go ahead and do this on Facebook. And what you could say is something like, oh, I'm definitely a 4-2-C-3. So like on this one specifically, I'll click use. So on this one specifically, build your own backyard utopia right here, once all of our image loaded. So this was pre-created by the people down at KWRI in Austin. You don't have to do anything other than like adding in your office logo right here. That is literally all you need to do on this one. There's 2 of these right now in the library. So you'd add in your logo, and you can see right here, cooking amenities, smoker, wood fire oven, built-in grill, fire pit, et cetera, et cetera. So you would, the example of this post, you would say, you'd post this graphic and you'd say, hey y'all, happy Monday. Clark Monday, your favorite realtor here. I personally am an A2G7. Like you put in one of each that you are. What about y'all? Post in the comments below. I'm curious what your perfect backyard utopia looks like. Getting engagement in the comment section will automatically push your page and your post to the top of timelines whenever you're going through it. A Facebook post with 0 comments and a few likes, it's not going to go as high when people log into their phones and their Facebook or their desktop as it is if you've got 70 comments and you're responding to every one of them. So that 35 people that responded just became 70 comments because you acknowledged every one of them. Love that. I'm not a smoker guy myself, but I'm a girl, although, you know, just interacting with people in the comment section, especially on Facebook, it tells their algorithm, hey, send this to the top. There's a lot of cool things happening here. Keep talking, keep talking. I had something where right when neighborhood snaps came out, if y'all know what that is from Kelly on the little blue mobile app, when those came out, probably a year, no, it's probably 2 years ago at this point because I had just gone full time. It's about 2 years ago whenever Kelly snaps came out and you could just tell Kelly, put in a zip code or a neighborhood or something like that, it would pop up that data that we put into that video. This is kind of a similar concept, but you could send out a landing page to people based on their area. And I did that, and I just said, hey, y'all, awesome new KW Tech just came out. Feel free to comment below your zip code, and I'll shoot you a direct message with the snapshot or the data based on your neighborhood. I got literally 150 comments out of like 1,000 friends on that. Not 150 because I was half of them, 150. And then I commented back on all of them and said, just send it to you, send it to you. That had like 300 comments. I had people in Keller Williams that I am not even friends with, that they were seeing it on their pages from Plano because they're friends with one person that I am. And there's all this engagement, and they're seeing my posts and all that. So not from the agent perspective, but from a potential client, the more comments that y'all have on a Facebook post, especially because that's how that algorithm works, the more interaction you have in there, the higher it's going to push it. So posting a graphic like this, now granted, there's only a couple right now. They've just started doing this in designs. And again, I don't remember if it's every quarter or how often they update the library, but having things like this, or maybe you just even post a picture, but use that same concept of, like, there's an agent over at Central, Jake. He's always posting awesome stuff about like 4 different, like a log cabin, a mansion, a normal cookie cutter suburban home, and like a lake house. And he's like, I'm lake house all the way. What are y'all's? Spout off in the comments below. He's always got people talking in his comments, which leads people to go, Jake's the real estate guy. He didn't do anything other than make a post and tell people to comment, and they do the rest. And people will remember this because they're always on their phones, especially now with COVID. So squirrel, bringing it back, but I just want to mention that to y'all, just so that you know that. And let's see. That's all I got. That's what I had all on my list. Personally, what questions do we have, whether it be on Zoom or here in person? What questions do we have based on everything we've gone over? Is there anything I need to talk about again, or are we comfortable? Where are we at? Speak with me. Yeah, it's really just doing it yourself and getting comfortable with it, because just like in real estate, putting in your first MLS input took probably forever compared to what you're doing now if you've been in the business for a little bit. It just takes time getting comfortable and used to this stuff. No, sir. What I was saying about the homepage in Command, I'll go there real quick and show you. If you go to Home, so this is just what pulls up as soon as you log into Command. And again, you can customize your home screen. I've done that, so yours looks a little different than mine probably, because I put product updates right here. Like smart plans, you can do 7 tasks a day instead of 2 now. Like, I just like to know what's going on in Command because of my job. But you can scroll down, and you can get down right here to design updates. You can see, check out the latest templates and designs. So like what we had just looked at, or you could preview this, fear or fact. So people worrying right now with COVID going on, is the housing market going downhill? Well, clearly not, because interest rates are like the best that I've ever seen in my life, and I'm 23. So that's just crazy in and of itself. Posting something like this and saying, hey, y'all, the best time to buy is when you find the right house. Interest rates are better than they've ever been. If you've got the capital and you want to get into a home and you want to stop paying your landlord's mortgage, reach out to me. These are just examples that I'm just talking about, but use whatever you want to use. You could just hit go to designs from there, Chris. It would take you into designs to edit this specific thing. And you can just kind of go through this and see. Let's see, like Patsy had created some, I think they're working on that because that was working last week. Or maybe you had something for the spring. Leaders look to the future. You know, just different content in here that's already created for you. What else can I answer for y'all? Tony, anybody on Zoom? Do we have any questions? Anything like that? Or are we all good to go? Based on
No, I'm good to go. I'll probably call you, Clark, to try to figure out how to get my photos uploaded.
Okay, sounds good. I'll help you with that.
Right. Thank you.
Sure thing. Sure thing. Well, if that's all we've got for today, y'all, I'm going to upload this on YouTube. Ernest, yes, sir. Yes. So a landing page is a freestanding, standalone page that you create. So I'll go show you an example real quick. You'll get yes, your website and a landing page are 2 different things. A landing page is something I would create, say, for an open house. Okay. So I made this test right when COVID hit. So I'll show you an example. Okay. I created this landing page for a class back in March or April, probably. So I went ahead and created this. This is for 9125 Farmer Drive. It was over in the Heritage subdivision, kind of by Alliance Town Center in Fort Worth, right over there in that area, kind of by Keller Central High School. So this one I did 9125 Farmer Drive. Please sign in, thank you. So the concept of this landing page was, let's say COVID's not going on. You have an iPad at an open house that everyone signs in on. You hand this landing page to someone when they walk in the open house, and you say, go ahead, fill this out, please. So the first thing I put on here was the please sign in, thank you. I edited that text how I wanted it, okay? So first thing that they do, they put in their info or their fake info, okay? Then they can scroll down, and they could skip that, but it is what it is. Can't make them do anything. Then you can scroll down, you can see the head photo right here. This sold. It's been from a while ago, so this already sold. It pulls in the MLS data. So you can put square feet, beds, baths. It pulls in the property description as well. And then it's got the whole carousel of photos. Again, I created this one specifically, Ernest. So you could make it, there's several different widget options for you to build something. And we could brainstorm together on, how to make a good one based on what you're trying to achieve. This is just for an open house sign-in in this case. But like whenever y'all get a new listing, highly recommend making a landing page for it and having a lead capture form on there. That way you can send that to people. It doesn't look like the cruddy little matrix, link. If you just click on that and share that on your Facebook, it's a really cool, beautiful, sleek looking landing. The sellers are going to love that. You share this with yourself. Oh my gosh. You made a website for they don't know that it took you 15 to 30 minutes to do that. It looks like you just went in there and coded like you know what you're doing on coding. Okay. I did a class or two on it in college, but I'm not going to act like I know coding to a T. So that'd just be a good little option for you to have that. I pulled in a map function right here so someone could zoom out if they're coming from out of state trying to get an idea of where Fort Worth, Texas is in Texas. I also put a snap in here as well. So all the listing info, this was back from when I had done this in April or March. And then this was back when I was with Southlake. So it's got that logo down there as well. But I created that in probably 15 to 20 minutes. If I wasn't teaching a class, I did it for longer when I was doing it. But yeah, landing page is a standalone thing. It's not connected to your website. It's separate when you're here in command. Drag this bar. When you're here in command. So I went to consumer on the bottom left, and you can see what you've created. I helped an agent last week create this for her new listing out in Frisco. And it wasn't active on the MLS yet, so we used a Las Vegas property with the same street name. But we pulled in all of this, made this with her. It also had a download app widget we had put on there as well. And then we did this together. Let me know how I can help. So for her new listing, sending this out to potential buyers or to, yes, sir. Because it won't, again, what Tony was running into with it not pulling over her photos and information about the property because it's coming soon and not active. I would recommend doing it when it's active because she had wanted this to be tied in as coming soon, but it wasn't possible. So she had to wait. She made the whole thing and then just waited to configure that one widget for the property, which property it is, until it went active on the MLS. And she went in and updated it, saved it, sent it to her sellers. They love it. And she's a brand new agent. And this is her first listing. She got it like within her first week of the business. A friend's parents' house, I think, she's selling. But she looks amazing as an agent to them because she's making a website for them. She can make content for marketing. She got her license 2 weeks ago, y'all. The abilities that y'all have in here it's insane. And again, what questions you have, I'm always happy to do one-on-ones and all that.
Clark, when you click on
yes, ma'am.
link page and then you go to the plus button.
Yes, ma'am. So landing pages,
Yeah.
right here. Okay. And then you'd hit create a new site on the top right.
Wait, see that, where do you, nope. I
So-
went design, I clicked on landing page.
Oh, no, ma'am, not there. We'll go on the left side of the page in command down to consumer on the far bottom left. Okay.
Okay.
And when you click on that on the top right, you'll see create a new site. And then
Okay.
for a landing page, that would be a standalone page. That's not something you're adding to your website as a tab. That would be a landing page by itself so that you can be capturing leads. It doesn't have anywhere else for them to go. Because if you add it to your site, people may be more inclined to kind of click around and then go, I don't care, whatever. If you have it just the one page, this is all the information you're getting, be happy about it. You can go through it that way. And Tony, we can get together. I've got videos online and we can sit down if you want help with that too, okay? And
Okay, thank
you're welcome. And I saw Bill in the chat said, these landing pages are really impressive for the listing presentation. So Bill, he and his wife Jan, they still have their active team over at the Richardson office, ROP. And so he's saying right here that he makes these landing pages for a listing presentation. So in addition to creating your listing presentation and designs, if you choose to, you could also maybe have some sample marketing material, some design templates, just with the easy data that you pull in. Maybe you have 2 or 3 options that you got in your packet. You got your listing or buyer presentation. You've got a landing page that they can pull up on their phone that you can just text the client in the listing presentation at the kitchen table. You look like just the diamond in the rough in terms of realtors, because you've done all this preparation, and to them it looks like hours and hours and hours of work, and at most you probably spent 30 minutes to an hour doing that. It's just preparation, okay? It automatically adds someone to your command. So let me show you all this in real time. I know yes, I'll show you real quick. So I'm about 5 minutes till 1:30 here on Zoom, so I'm gonna detour here, y'all. If you don't wanna watch, feel free to head out. It was great having y'all on, or if you wanna stay on, feel free. So I'm gonna go to this right here. First of all, before I click on, so we're on consumer, you'll see over here on the right side, there's leads. Well, there's one lead already in there from this open house sign in right here, okay? That was me back in the day, because this was all for a test class. But I'm gonna go back to that link for this open house sign in right here, okay? I'm gonna fill this out like I'm the person in the open house, quote unquote, with the iPad in my hand. And my name is Daffy Duck. Daffy@duck.com. I'll put in my phone number because why not? Please help me buy a house. All right, I hit I'm not a robot. I hit send. All right, so y'all saw me put Daffy Duck, Daffy@duck.com. I go back to my command. I go back up to the home page. Because I've configured my home page, I've changed it up a little bit. You'll scroll down, and right there is Daffy Duck. Phone number, email, immediately. You'll also get a Kelly notification on the blue app, K-E-L-L-E, on the mobile app, on their Google Play or Apple App Store. If you have that downloaded, you'll log in with your KW credentials. The Kelly app, you can get updates on Keller mortgage loans, referrals, leads from Facebook ads or from your sites, different things like that. You'll get automatic little push notifications. This command gives you this little bell icon up here, and that's another way to know if we received a lead. So up here on the little bell next to your name, you see that little red dot next to it? That means we've got a new notification. I click on that. Oh, new lead info capture. Let's go see what that is. I just click on it. It'll take me into my contacts and into Mr. Daffy Duck. Right there. Didn't have to do anything. The blue L, it marked it as a lead for me as well. It has the source as a KW landing page. So I didn't have to do anything. Y'all watch me. I just typed that in and hit send. That's how easy it is to get leads if you set these things up. Okay. Yes, exactly. Exactly. For the open house scenario, yes, that wouldn't be directly applicable to this year with all the craziness. But maybe you're doing a just listed one. Maybe it's for a new listing. There's well, the options are unlimited on what you want to do and what you can get creative with. It's just however you want to build it. Maybe you have one for your mobile app. Maybe, however you want to make it. It's really just up to you. So I'll go ahead and stop sharing because we're right here at 2 minutes before 1:30. So thank y'all so much for joining us today. As always, you can reach out to me, Clark Mundy, CLARKMUNDY @kw.com via email, or my cell is 817-939-9855. Happy to do any one-on-ones with y'all, or I'll have these up on YouTube as well. But just let me know what I can be doing for y'all. Thank y'all for joining us. I'm glad we had some good attendance today, despite all the craziness this year. And let me know what I can be doing for you. Okay.
Clark, where do we find the videos?
They're going to be on YouTube, and I'm going to post them in the Facebook group. Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Y'all have a good one.
Mm-hmm.